Hi, we're here to do some extra examples on measuring angles and converting back and forth between degrees and radians. So I hope you've had a chance to try these out on your own a little bit. There's some very common values that you use a lot in all kinds of trigonometric functions and trigonometric situations. And so it's worth at least working them out once on your own and then kind of memorizing them ever after that. So the common values are 0 degrees, 30 degrees, 45 degrees, 60 degrees, and 90 degrees. What we're going to do is find the complementary and supplementary angles for each one in both degrees and radians. So the reason these angles are so important is because 90 degrees is a right angle, and then what we're doing is chopping a right angle up into either 2 equal pieces, which gives us 45 degrees, or 3 equal pieces, which gives us the 30 and 60 degree angles. So those are very common ones that come up very often. So it's worth knowing what these are in both degrees and radians, knowing their complements and supplements, and knowing what the complements and supplements are in degrees and radians as well. So let me make a little chart here. We're starting out in degrees. We have the 0 degree angle, 30, 45, 60, and 90. Let me convert those into radians first. The 0 degree angle, of course, is still 0 in radians. 30 degrees, well, remember that a 90 degree angle is pi over 2 radians. So a 30 degree angle is 1/3 of that. It's pi over 2 divided by 3. So that's pi over 6. 45 is 90 divided by 2. So that's pi over 2 divided by 2, which is pi over 4. 60 is twice 30. So 60 is twice pi over 6. 2 pi over 6 is pi over 3. So those are pretty convenient fractions when you write them in terms of radians. The complementary angles, we'll do it in terms of degrees first. Remember, complementary angles add up to 90 degrees. So if you know what the angle is, you do 90 minus that number to get the complementary angle. So if you start with a 0 degree angle, the complementary angle is 90, because 90 minus 0 is 90. 30 degree angle, the complementary angle is 60, because those add up to 90. 45 degree angle, that is its own complement, because 45 and 45 is 90. 60 degree angle, its complement is 30, and a 90 degree angle, its complement is 0. Let's do those in terms of radians. The 0 degree angle, its complement, the 0 radian angle, its complement is going to be pi over 2, because those add up to pi over 2. Remember, that's the same as a 90 degree angle. Pi over 6 plus pi over 3 is pi over 2. You can work out the fractions there, or you can remember that 30 plus 60 equals 90. 45 degree angle, or pi over 4, is its own complement. Pi over 3, we already figured out that its complement is pi over 6. And pi over 2, its complement is 0, because, again, those add up to pi over 2, or a 90 degree angle. Let's figure out the supplementary angles. Remember, supplementary angle means that they add up to 180 degrees. So in each case, we're looking for what adds up to 180 degrees. If we start with 0, that means we have the supplement is 180 itself. If we start with 30, it's 150. 45, well, 180 minus 45 is 135. 180 minus 60 is 120. And 180 minus 90 is 90 itself. And finally, if we find the supplementary angles in terms of radians, remember, we're looking here for, well, before they added up to 180 degrees, in terms of radians, they should add up to pi. So 0 plus pi adds up to pi. pi over 6 plus 5 pi over 6 adds up to pi. Pi over 4 plus 3 pi over 4 adds up to pi. Pi over 3 plus 2 pi over 3 adds up to pi. And pi over 2 plus pi over 2 adds up to pi. All of these are common values. These are all conversions back and forth between degrees and radians that you should know very well as a trigonometry student, just because these angles come up so often. And it's probably worth understanding the pictures behind each of these numbers that I've written down. So for example, when we look at complementary angles, here's a 30-degree angle, and its complement is a 60-degree angle. In terms of radians, that's pi over 6 radians, and the 60-degree angle is pi over 3 radians. Add those together, you get pi over 3 plus pi over 6 adds up to pi over 2. Here's another right angle, and I'm dividing it in two into 45 degrees, which is pi over 4 radians. And we see that that angle is its own complement. 45 degrees is pi over 4 radians. I'll do the supplements in blue. If we start out with a 30-degree angle, or pi over 6 radians, then its supplement is a 150-degree angle, which is 5 pi over 6. If we start out with a 60-degree angle, which is pi over 3 radians, then its supplement, remember you put them together and they're supposed to make 180 degrees, or pi radians, is 120 degrees, which is 2 pi over 3 radians. And finally, if you start out with a 45-degree angle, which is pi over 4 radians, then its supplement is 135 degrees, which is 3 pi over 4 radians. All of those are angles that you should know very, very well, both in terms of degrees and radians, because we'll be seeing a lot of them in our trigonometry lessons.